Welcome to episode 16 of the Jungle Podcast. I'm your host, John. You know the other host, Jeff. Jeff, welcome back. Another Tuesday show.
Yeah, buddy. Good to see you. Excited to talk some more Bengals.
Yes, sir. I guess before we hop into Friday? We did some Bengals. We did a revisit of the offense last Friday.
Yeah.
Basically just giving you kind of a projection going through the depth chart. Today we're going to do the same thing for the defense and kind of going in tandem with the last episode we did, episode 15. Last time we did the best 10 Bengals draft picks of the past 10 years. Today we're going to give you the top 10 worst Bengals draft picks of the past 10 years. So excited to dive into that a little bit.
Very excited about that. This was a fun list to put together. But before we do that, I feel like we should go back to the previous list. And we did get some poll votes. I don't know if you noticed, but I think people agree with the way that I interpreted the list a little bit more.
Yeah. I'm looking for a bigger sample size. That's all. I don't know who you sent it to.
I got it.
I'm looking for a bigger sample size. If you're happy to go off 8, then I guess, that's we're setting the bar pretty low here at the
Bengals. We appreciate those votes. Just giving you a hard time on that one, but it was. I think we both came up with some good lists there, good players. This one was more fun. This one was more fun to put together.
Absolutely. And if you're not sure, like when Jeff's saying Twitter poll, if you're not sure where to find us on Twitter, you can find us on Twitter at the Jungle Pod. You can find us on any listening platform as the Jungle Podcast, and you can find us on YouTube as the Jungle Podcast as well. Before we hop into some Bengals info, though. Jeff, do you have any news and notes from the weekend?
Yeah, I got a couple things. Not sure if you saw this. So there was a UFC card over the weekend. Amanda Nunes retained her title. She's the best female fighter of all time, in my opinion. I think a lot of people's opinions. But one of the biggest news stories that came out after that was Conor McGregor then tweeted out on a card. He wasn't even on the card, right? That he's retiring. He doesn't want to fight anymore. I'm so sick and tired of it. And Dana White kind of seems like he's tired of it also. He was like, look, he doesn't have to fight. If he wants to retire, he can retire.
He's not retired. There's
of course not. Of course not. But aren't you sick of him saying it's his third time saying it now?
I've been sick of his mouth ever since he got his face beaten in by Nurmagomedov. And Nurmagomedov came flying off the side of the railing, just punking his whole crew up. I've been sick of him since then. I've been rooting against him since then. I've been Cowboy Cerrone all day. When they had the matchup, I was going Cowboy. I'm sick of McGregor. I actually was watching some old, I think it was like the Ultimate Fighter stuff, and it was him mouthing off. This is when he was at the top of his game, and he's mouthing off against the other coach who's 50 pounds lighter than him.
I think it was Uriah Faber.
It's just dude. Of course, you're bigger than him. Yeah, you're gonna talk, and he's throwing his money in the guy's face. He can't fight you because you're way bigger than him. Of course, it's not a fair fight. But then you're gonna bring you're richer than him into it. Dude, it's just you got no class. And he tried to pull the same stuff against someone his size who was just as good, and he had nothing to say. And now he's
better.
I can't stand Conor McGregor anymore, man. I'm sick of him.
I'm sick of him too. Khabib was better. He beat the shit out of him.
Right. If you want to take shots at him, big guy.
Right. And he's tried to, but then it's you don't deserve that fight to come back and fight him. It was what, Connor? The biggest thing I had was, why are you tweeting out on a card that you weren't even on?
Because he wants.
And now, he wants the attention. And my problem with it is now you're taking the attention away from Amanda Nunes, who should be getting all the attention. She's the best female fighter of all time. So that pissed me off from the UFC news. Whenever he comes back, I'm sure he is. Floyd Mayweather then tweeted at him, said, okay, come box, because Conor said he beat up Floyd to Mike Tyson or something like that. He got outboxed against Floyd. He's not going to beat Floyd Mayweather in a boxing match. I don't care how old Floyd Mayweather gets. He's not going to beat him in a boxing match. But then aside from that, we're going back to the UFC. Just I don't know if you saw it yet. Your boy Stipe, his next fight has been announced, August 15th. Trilogy fight against DC, and it's going to be DC's last. So I'm excited about that.
Interesting. I'm glad to see that. That's August 15th?
August 15th.
Where are they fighting? Is that Fight Island or is that
Actually, that's a good question because Dana White did come out with 3 cards that are going to be on Fight Island. I don't think this one is on Fight Island, but it might be.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, I knew you'd like that. Your boy Stipe coming back. hopefully defending his title against DC, and it's going to be DC's last fight.
Very cool. I do like that. I can't wait to watch that one. That'll be probably the most excited I've been for one of these fights in a couple months.
Same here, man.
Good still. Any other news and notes you had?
No. What about you?
So for me, it was just the Major League Baseball. Kind of revisit this because there's really nothing other sports news other than like updates on kind of where we're at with a lot of these leagues. It looks like there will be a season, which is a positive thing.
Yeah.
A lot of the players have expressed like, hey, we want to play. Like, we're going to make this happen. We just got to figure out the right mix. So right now, I think it's a July 10th start date. They're looking at like 75% of the prorated salaries for the players, which is closer, and it's a 48-game season. So it's slated to, I guess, begin July 10th. It would end September 27th, and then at the end of October, right on time, is when the whole World Series would finish up. So I'm just happy to see I'm happy to see that they're going to take it seriously and move forward with it.
Me too. You might have said this. I'm sorry. Did you say how many games are they going to play in the regular season? Did they slate that?
48 is what I'm seeing, I think.
That's interesting because I mean, if you think about it, I forget who was just talking about that. I was just listening to it. It might have been on Pardon My Take. I was listening to their podcast, and they had mentioned how, I mean, like last year, it took the Nationals at least half the season to kind of get good.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's going to be interesting. Everyone's playing the same amount of games.
Right.
So you can't say it's not fair. But
no, you're right.
Yeah, baseball is one of those games where a guy can he'll suck for 3 months, and then he'll just tear. And it changes the whole thing. So that's why I think the players want I think the players actually want more games in a lot of these negotiations because they want a bigger sample size, just like the crap you're trying to pull on me about the Twitter poll. It's the same thing with baseball statistics. You need a big sample size to truly evaluate the quality of something, whether it be someone's opinion or whether it be your batting average.
I like that.
I just like to see that they think in the same vein as me.
I agree. Hey, look, I agree that I would have loved a bigger sample size, but I'll take what we can get on that. And you're right. You're right. Now, but here's the thing. I mean, they probably want more games because they probably they get paid more, right?
Right.
So,
right. Yeah, that's part of it too. I just think I definitely think that's part of it. But I do think these guys don't want to play. They don't want a 20-game What if you're on a 1-year deal and you only hit 200, but normally you're like a 320 hitter? You know what I mean? Things like that happen.
You don't get a chance to get your
negotiating power. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, that will be interesting. Well, good. What about any other news and notes?
That's all I had.
Are you happy? You want to move into kudos?
Yeah. So why don't you kick us off with your kudos of the week, Jeff?
Yeah. So our weekly deal here. Wow, geez. On kudos of the week. So our first repeating segment of the week. My kudos actually goes to someone who I've talked about and gave a lot of love to on this podcast already. Michael Thomas, the guy who I think is the best wide receiver in the league. Not sure if you saw this. He joined with a nonprofit organization, I believe it's called the RIP Medical Debt Organization, to donate $2.3 million to absolve medical debt for residents in New Orleans. So kudos of the week to Michael Thomas for doing that, helping out a ton of people. Someone with a big voice doing a really big thing there. I love it. So kudos of the week to Mike Thomas.
Awesome. I love that. For me, it's mask smokers. So they just opened the Las Vegas Strip. I think this is upside down. So in Las Vegas right now, there's been pictures and videos of people, since you have to wear your mask in there, still smoking their cigarettes, and they're literally just like this. And then there's one where a guy is smoking a cigarette out the side of his mask while he's betting at the slot machine. There was another one of Ben Affleck is a mask smoker. So he's I didn't know he was such a big smoker. Apparently Ben Affleck has a black lung by this point in his life.
No kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently he does.
I think, dude, I bet a lot of those guys do.
Yeah, I know he's a big drinker. I think the guy has I think he lives a little rougher than
he's a little rough around
his smooth persona lead on.
I agree. He's a little rough around.
Yeah, you kind of hear some we don't have to get into the whole thing with but you hear something. Mask smokers. Kudos of the week. You're still getting your nicotine in the way you like it. Kudos to you guys, mask smokers. Good for them. I'm so sick and tired of the masks. I get why everyone has to. I know it's important.
But I mean, look, the WHO just came out and said, when you see that article, they said it's very rare to pass it on if you have no symptoms. And these guys that are smoking cigarettes out the side of their mask, why are we making them wear a mask then?
It's Las Vegas. You know, they're just doing what they think, like what people wanted them to do.
You're right. You're right. You're
like,
right.
We can open. Okay, yeah, wear
cool.
your mask. I don't care.
Look, just put a mask on. You can chief cigs out the side of it. No big deal.
Cigs. There you go.
It's all good. Well, good, man. I like that. Cutest of the week. That's one of my favorite segments we do. But I think we wanted to get to this the most. I was so excited to talk defense about Bengals. Offense was awesome last week, but let's dive into the defense.
Yeah, man. Right. So I guess we'll start it off. So, like we said last week, like the offense looks great. There's some holes in the line. And when I look at the defense is definitely the strength of the team, starting with the defensive line.
Yes.
So like as the offensive line is the weakness, I think the defensive line is like the strength of the whole team. So at D end, you have Carlos Dunlap, multi-Pro Bowler. I had the stat last week, or I think I sent you the stat. I didn't say this on the podcast, did I?
No, we talked. You talking about the batted down balls? Yeah, we talked about that.
By like 9 and balls bad down, excuse me.
Yeah.
So you got him, and then you got on the other side. So Carlos, I think it's like 30 or 31. He's probably got a couple more years, good ball left. But the young one for us is Sam Hubbard.
Yes.
On the other side.
Super excited about him.
Sam's a beast, dude. I'm really excited to see what he can do. It's great that he's a local kid. He's a hometown guy. I don't know where he's at in his contract. This is going to be his 3rd year. So I'd really like to see them.
He's got 1 or 2 more on his rookie deal then.
But I'm saying I'd like to see them lock him up right now. I know they're talking about that right now with William Jackson III, one of the corners that we'll get to. But I'd love to see them make Sam a priority. I have a hard time thinking they wouldn't, especially with the way they're investing money in some of the other players.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a ton of lists where it's like all who are going to be the breakout players of each team and all that. Almost every single one of them for the Bengals, Sam Hubbard is the one that they mentioned. And I think he's going to be an absolute stud. I also love his backup. If you look at the depth chart we talked about last week, Carl Lawson. That's awesome.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was literally about to say it.
Yeah. So I mean, I love him back there because he can also he can come out and you can put them on the field at the same time. They've made some moves on this defensive line with bringing in DJ Reader. Obviously, they still have the staple in Geno Atkins. They're 2. We talked about this also last week on the podcast. If you look at the top 7, I think, or top 9 paid defensive tackles, the Bengals have 2 of them.
Yeah, man. When's the last time we had a defensive line this good in Cincinnati?
What, back maybe when we had Michael Johnson right out of the league when he was really good coming out? Yeah,
I'm thinking like 2014.
Around that area.
We had Domata and Geno, right? And then we had Michael Johnson when he was a little bit younger and better. And Carlos, a young Carlos. I'd say this is the best we've had in 5 years, man.
I agree. The problem is linebacker.
Glasgow at D tackle. He's not awful.
I like Glasgow. He's out of Michigan. The kid out of Michigan, Glasgow. Yeah, Michigan. Right. I mean, he got drafted in 2017.
Right.
Yeah, big, strong kind of. He's got that defensive tackle, just solid. Go in there, stuff the hole, keep the guards off your linebackers, and then we're gonna make plays.
He's nothing special, but he's not a bad if you're rotating him in, you're not gonna notice a difference.
Right. Right. He's gonna be a staple. He's a solid 2nd string tackle that would play for a lot of teams in the NFL.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's solid.
Yeah, defensive line. I think, and I mentioned it. Where I'm worried about is linebacker for sure. We're super young now. The Logan Wilson kid out of Wyoming, very, very excited about him. I think when we took him in the 3rd round, he was the highest ranked middle linebacker on the board. But I'm really excited about the kid they took out of Appalachian State, Akeem Davis Gaither, that they were saying he's the small school Isaiah Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, he had an unbelievable year. We took him in the 4th round. So
I think so, yeah. He was a 4th round pick.
Yeah.
He was the one that I was saying he was a senior at the Senior Bowl, and they liked how he kind of, he's not like one of these, he's not from Alabama, but he steps right into the huddle with those guys and immediately assumes that leadership role. Doesn't feel like he's too small for the level. Like he's like, I'm here. I'm good enough to do this. Showed the confidence. The coaches saw it, and they grabbed him.
Right.
So, him and Logan Wilson, the other one they grabbed. I'm excited to see both of those guys in action, especially Logan Wilson, man. Like
I'm super excited about Logan.
I didn't know
Wilson.
anything about him in college, but the way they talked about him and just watching his highlights, like he really seems like he could be one of those like Geno Atkins guys. He's not a first or second rounder, but he could be perennial Pro Bowler. Like the.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you get linebackers like he just seems like a stud. And then and we forgot to mention on the when we're going through draft picks here kind of now, second behind Carlos Dunlap, the Khalid Kareem kid out of Notre Dame, dude, had a really good few years at Notre Dame. I think he had 26 tackles for loss last year or something like that. I mean, that's a big stat.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about him. And then also coming back to linebacker, Marcus Bailey. People forget about this kid. If it weren't for his injuries, they were saying he would have been a second, third, maybe early fourth round kid, but he had been injured. If you remember the Purdue game against Ohio State when Purdue just blew out Ohio State, what was that, a couple years ago or last year?
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years ago. Marcus Bailey was the one who kind of put the nail in the coffin very end of the game, caught a pick six and ran in for ran it back for a touchdown interception. So super excited about him out of Purdue. So, look, I know I bashed the linebackers earlier, but I guess now the more that we're talking about it, I am getting more and more excited about the young talent that they have.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so there's two of them. We talked more about the backups just now than we did the starters. Does that tell you something about how good we feel about these starters? So let's go through them. Josh Bynes, middle linebacker. I never heard of him in my life. He's been in the league for 10 years. Okay, so he's better than like everyone else at that position, but he's never started until last year. Don't feel great about him. And then Jermaine Pratt, I'm laughing because when I was looking through like worst draft picks, I almost put his name.
Did you?
Because I never heard of him. I had to look him up.
At NC State? Yeah.
I never heard of the guy. I had to look him up, and I was like, okay, I can't put a starter on our defense. It's one of the worst. Maybe he is, though.
Maybe it is. I mean, they liked him a lot. I mean, now, Josh Bynes, the one thing I will say about him, I do like that he came from Baltimore. Baltimore has always, has such a, obviously, storied history of linebackers.
Yeah.
But like you said, dude, he only played. He played 12 games last year. He wasn't a starter.
If they wanted him, he'd be there.
You're right. He'd still be there. He only played 12 games last year.
Man, our starters are the guys they don't even want.
I do think that our starters are better than they were last year, and mainly because of Logan Wilson. He's a rookie. So, and you know what? We'll see. You know what I mean? He's a rookie. We don't really know yet, but I'm excited about it.
Yeah. So let's go to corner.
We're going to go defensive back.
I think is going to be exciting. So Trey Waynes, new pickup for I guess Bengals fans out there who may not know his name. He was like the next young good quarterback after former Bengal Darqueze Dennard out of Michigan State. So Darqueze balled out at Michigan State. He got the Jim Thorpe. He left. We got him in the first round.
Trey
Waynes then stepped in, assumed that role on that Mark Antonio defense at Michigan State. Balled out again. Unlike Darqueze, he's actually done some things with his NFL.
Right.
We paid him some serious money. I can't think of the figure right now. I want to say it's like
42 million or something like that, like 41, 42 million. Yeah. I mean, we got better at cornerback. We definitely got better at cornerback.
William Jackson was already our best I thought he was our best like for the past couple of years.
Oh, I agree.
Like it's like when you draft Darqueze and you draft Dennard,
Drake Kirkpatrick.
Yeah, Drake Kirkpatrick. Sorry. It's hard to not play him, and it's nice just kind of like just flush him out. Like we can get some new blood in here. Just start fresh, and it's nice to see them doing that. I think Will Jackson. We were talking before we hit play on this thing that he's expressing some interest to be in Cincinnati for a while, and I'm excited to see how those guys do. The whole defensive backfield. Go ahead, Jeff.
We got two guys out of Minnesota. We picked up Trey Waynes and Mackenzie Alexander, which I like that because look, I loved Zimmer.
Yeah, that's right.
I loved Mike Zimmer. There was a point in time when I wish he was the Bengals head coach.
He should have been our head coach. Imagine where we'd be right now.
Right. So they're coming
Instead, we have a guy who's like I know him as the best thing I know about Zach Taylor is he was the quarterback from Nebraska in 2006.
Yeah, and then he was the quarterback coach for Sean McVay, and for some reason everyone who's delivered a pizza to Sean McVay has gotten a head coaching job or something like that in the NFL. So, and I like Sean McVay, don't get me wrong, but let's pump the brakes a little bit. I don't know if he was ready to be the head coach. We'll see this year.
We'll find out. We'll find out
really fast. But I like Trey Waynes and Mackenzie Alexander coming in. I actually think Mackenzie Alexander has every bit of possibility of being just as good as Trey Waynes. I saw, I mean, he had a completion percentage against him that was one of the best in the leagues when he was on the field. Now, he wasn't on the field as much as Trey Waynes, with a smaller sample size, but he's a really, really good talent. I like Jesse Bates. I keep forgetting also, dude, we brought in Von Bell.
All right. I was waiting to talk about Von.
Yeah.
Von Bell. I love Von Bell, dude. So, Von Bell.
Yeah, he's Ohio State.
I know we talk about Ohio State, but, dude, Von Bell was like the top-ranked safety in the whole country. He was at Knoxville, Tennessee. He committed to Ohio State, which is like, whoa. It's like, he was one of those like early on urban commits. You're like, oh, shoot, like this SEC guy just showed the Buckeyes. Shows up at Ohio State, goes on to win the national championship as our safety. He was making plays since his freshman year. And then he goes to New Orleans, and he kind of disappeared for a little bit. It took like 2 or 3 years. The Williams guy, the other safety, screwed up in the playoffs against the Vikings. And after that, Von Bell got put in the starting role and just ran with it. And I was like, why did this take so long? So to see him come to Cincinnati, and not only that, but be appreciative. Like he says, like, I'm coming home. I feel like I'm coming home to Ohio because he had like such good memories in Ohio. I'm super excited to get a Von Bell. I don't know what number he is. I might get a Von Bell jersey this year. I can't wait to see him. And Jesse Bates. Like, both the safeties are exciting. Strong safeties going to be so much fun. I'm so glad we have Von. And then backing him up is Sean Williams.
Exactly. I love Sean Williams. Love Sean Williams. The defensive backfield has gotten so much better, and it was so weak last year. I was so sick and tired of seeing Drakkarist Patrick just miss tackle after tackle after tackle. I mean, it was just ridiculous.
The one where, like, he thought the other guy had him.
And just kind of gave up. Yeah, just kind of gave up.
He just gave up. We thought the guy was, like, running out. And he seemed dry, and then he looked at, like, somebody else like it was their fault. It's like, dude, just go.
Come on. I mean, look, I don't even know if he's on a team anymore. Because remember, his physical fell through with the Texans. I don't even know if he's on a roster.
I'm looking right now. I can't. He has to be on a team, no?
Well, he was supposed to go to Houston.
He's a free agent.
Yeah. His physical or something fell through.
He's now it could be because of
COVID stuff.
How's that?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you ain't kidding. But no, defensive back, I'm excited about it. I also like he doesn't get a lot of. We were drafted him in 2018. Darius Phillips, kid out of Western Michigan, very good athlete. I like him because I do think they put him back. I think he's kind of a return. They can put him back as a returner also, so he's a versatile player. Look, we got better in the defensive backfield. We got better on the defense. I wasn't as excited about linebackers as I am now. I'm kind of getting all jacked up talking about the young talent that we have at linebackers.
Yeah, keep that positive feeling for now because it's going to rapidly.
You're right. Yeah, we're going to go game one, and someone's probably going to rush for 235 yards on us. So I get that. They're going to have to fill in some big shoes. Well, not filling it. They're filling someone's shoes. No one's shoes. They're going to have to do something, to prove that they are worth the picks.
Silver lining. So there are still good. I mean, not good, but no, there are still the Cam Newton's out there. There are some good players still in free agency. This whole thing is kind of like put everything on pause. Who's to say they're still not looking to grab somebody? I know they're still looking at the guard out of New Orleans.
Right.
Who knows? Like, I wouldn't be – like, they have – what does it hurt? All these guys are so young. Why not just throw like I know Bynes, I guess. It's like 30.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a little bit more of a veteran presence. But, like, why not throw him
That's got to be why they brought him in.
Call up to Honey Jones, see if he still can bend his knees and throw him out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of – I mean – I'm pretty sure there's a lot of good offensive linemen out there. I know we're talking defense too. I'm just trying to look at kind of the free agents list here. Mike Daniels, the defensive lineman, he's still out there.
Any linebackers on the list?
If you look at linebackers,
no one that jumps out. Yeah, that's probably not good for us.
Nothing that jumps out, man. So I don't think
Logan
we're picking
Wilson is really going to kill it this year. I can't wait to see Logan Wilson turn into a Pro Bowler.
You got to go down to Nigel Bradham. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. The guy out of Philadelphia.
That was my point.
Yeah,
you can't even pronounce the guy's name. We don't know.
I can't even pronounce his name. There are some other guys out there, but I mean, we'll see.
Love it.
Dude, Everson Griffin's still out there as an edge. Eric Reed's still out there as a safety. Jadeveon Clowney's still out there.
I know. So they're all out there. It's because you don't sign a free agent until you can do a physical, and you can't do a physical when you have to smoke through a mask.
Yep.
If you're going to smoke cigarettes, don't wear masks.
You're right. Well, good. You want to talk about anything else for the defense stand out? Or you want to go in the draft picks?
Let's go right into the worst draft picks of the past 10 years.
Let's get into it.
Man, so some of these, like, I feel I'll be honest, like, the first six, I felt good about what I was putting down.
Yeah.
After that, I started to, like, try to give guys the benefit of the doubt, to not just throw somebody on the list. Because, like, some of these guys, like, I'm not going to lie, like, they've got good NFL careers. Like, I kind of limited this just to guys in the first, I guess, 3 rounds. I put 1 5th rounder on there. But guys in the first 3 rounds, because it's like, if you're a 4th round pick, the odds of you making it aren't as good anyways. So how am I going to call you one of the worst of the past 10 years if your odds weren't that great in the first place, you know?
I mean, hey man, most of my guys, I think, I mean, if I look at it, I got 2 3rd rounders, and then the rest are all 1st or 2nd.
Okay, we'll still have some differences here then.
Yeah.
You want to start us off? Give us your 10.
I'll start off. My number 10 might be I'm sure he's definitely a lesser known player, but so he was drafted in 2017, round 3, pick 73. Jordan Willis, linebacker out of Kansas State.
Ooh.
So
I don't have him on my list, but I looked at him for a long time, and I was like, do I want to do that to him? Do I want to shame him forever? Because, like, we're about to unload on these guys. This never goes away. So, like –
I know. And, look, I was so excited about Jordan Wilson who came out. He was the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year.
I know.
Right? You take him in the 3rd round as a linebacker. He should still be on your team right now if you draft him in 2017. He is a 3rd-string linebacker for the New York Jets right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So something went wrong there. Obviously, didn't work out for the Bengals. I was so excited about him coming out. Look, I hope all of these guys make us eat our words here. Okay, obviously, especially because a lot of them some of them will never, but some of them are still Bengals that I'm sure that we're gonna name. So I hope that they do. But Jordan Willis, my 10th worst draft pick, if we look going back to 2010, taken out of in 2017 out of Kansas State.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Like I said, I thought about him, but I was like, I don't hate him enough. We're not going to put him quite yet. So for mine, it's a little bit different, and I'm trying to find exactly where we took him. He had probably the best rookie year I've ever seen in the past 10 years for any Bengal of any position. It's what he did after that validates him being the 10th worst player draft pick for the past 10 years. And I'm using worst a little bit looser with this one. It's Jeremy Hill. So Jeremy Hill, he came on, balled out. He ran for 1,100 yards as a rookie. The next year, as a sophomore year of pro football, he didn't hit the 1,000-yard mark, but granted, he's splitting carries. Okay. He also led the NFL in rushing touchdowns. He came out the gate hot. Those were great Bengals teams. He had a good line. He did well. He fell off the biggest cliff I've ever seen. Like, the guy went from
after
age
he fumbled
22,
that ball.
I'm getting to that. That. He fell off the biggest cliff ever. He lost all his speed. He lost all his jukes. Like, he couldn't run through tackles. He just became like the most boring guy I'd ever watch. To make matters worse, he goes to New England, and this is why he made my 10 spot. Well, hold on. Let's first finish how he ended the 2015 playoffs, his 2nd year in the league. So on the goal line to seal the game against the dreaded Steelers, he fumbles. He's the only reason we lost that game. Like, all right, yeah, you can say Pat.
Yeah.
Dude,
I don't know if the only.
Screw that.
I don't know if the only.
We're on the football, man. He takes more blame to me than anybody. Like, you're on the goal line. Just don't fumble, and you win. It doesn't matter what they did from that point on.
No, it would have been the game. Look, he's on my list. I haven't said it yet, so I'm with.
Okay. Let me finish tearing him up. So then he goes. He misses all of. He signs with the Patriots. He misses the entire year with a torn ACL. They win the Super Bowl, and he has the gall to go on Instagram and say, "Imagine." Like, I'm sure Bengals fans are chirping at him. But there's a lot of us who supported him, and I always supported him. Even when he left, I always had good fond memories of him. Even despite him fumbling on the goal line, still didn't hate him. I hated him when he said, imagine being a Bengals fan. It's like, dude, you fumbled, and then you left, and then you trash us when you didn't even – I saw in the comments, Maroon 5 was on the field more than he was that year because they didn't have the time show the Super Bowl. He doesn't have any right to trash the Bengals. You know what? You're getting Jeremy Hill. You're getting the 10th worst draft pick of the past 10 years, and that I feel so much better than getting that out of my system. Oh my God!
Look, he's my number 8. So I don't need to say anything. Yeah, I don't need to say anything more.
And he's not on a team right now. He's on the same team me and Jeff are on free agent. Let's go.
That's right. That's right. Look, I'm with you. I don't think I need to say anything more. I'll never forget when he fumbled that ball.
I've been holding that in for 2 years.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm with you. And that Bengals team, man, that was with A.J. McCarron at quarterback, wasn't it? And when Dalton had gotten hurt, A.J. came in and was playing so well. Remember?
No, this is 2015 playoff game against the Steelers. Andy was in there.
Okay, so Andy, the next year. But Andy had a good year. That Bengals team was good. They could have done something in the playoffs that year. Could have done something in the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, I like that pick.
He fumbled.
I like that pick. He's your number 10. He's my number 8. I'll go into my number 9.
Okay.
And I kind of feel bad about this just because I'll be honest, it's not necessarily like I have anything horrible to say about the guy. It's just Tyler Croft, taken in the 3rd round in the 2015 NFL season. This is why he's here, is because the current starting Bengals tight end, CJ Uzomah, was taken later in that draft.
Yeah.
Several rounds after. And Tyler Croft is no longer a Bengal. He'd never lived up to kind of what he was supposed to be after Eifert got hurt and all that. Not a Bengal anymore. He's with the Buffalo Bills. And the guy that we drafted, look, the Bengals, if you take a tight end in the 3rd round and then you take another one 3 rounds later, why'd you take that first tight end? You don't do that.
Or he better be better.
Oh, he better be better than that guy. He better be better than that guy. And obviously he wasn't. So Tyler Croft, sorry, buddy, you make my list at number 9.
Tyler Croft, you made my list at number 8.
Okay, there you go.
Actually, no, you're right. I did screw this up. He did go at number 9. I switched their order. He went at number Yes, he's at number 9. So here's why I made him number 9 and not number 8 like I initially did. Because my number 8 now is Paul Dawson. I remember the linebacker from TCU being on the list. I don't really know who Paul Dawson is, though. I remember him being picked. That's about it.
I didn't think about that.
And I knew he was – and here's why I put him as 8 and Croft at 9. It's because Croft is still in the league, and Dawson hasn't played since 2018 with Saskatchewan.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, if I'm going to, if I'm going to shit on one of these guys, it's got to be the one – I'm going to shit on the one more who at least is still playing professional ball and not on the same team as me and Jeff.
Yeah, that's right. That makes sense. All right, well, good. I like that. So we both have him at number 9. Who's your number 8? You know my number 8.
No, I gave it to you. So for right now, I have Jeremy Hill at 10. I have 9 Croft, 8 is Dawson. I gave you
okay. All right.
Basically,
gotcha.
Let me cut to the chase. The entire 2015 draft class is on this list.
Okay.
For the most part. Like, they all suck.
All right. Yeah, that's fair.
Give me your number 7.
That's fair. Let me. I really want to. So I want to look at this 2015 real quick.
Hold on, let's go back to it at the end. We'll go dissect it at the end because it's funny.
I will.
I was thinking about that.
My number 7 is Drakkarist Patrick, and I actually think that he could probably be lower on the list, meaning maybe fucking the first overall worst draft pick. We talked about him earlier. Just sick and tired of watching him miss tackles. He's not on a team anymore. I know they can't take physicals. He never lived up to his height. He was so good in college.
What happened to him, man? I feel like we either didn't coach him right, or maybe he just didn't. I don't think we either didn't have somebody who he had the talent. Either we mishandled him, or he couldn't focus on football, and he got paid and he stopped caring.
Look, we probably did mishandle him. It probably is a Bengals issue. Let's be honest. But he did live up to the height. He was with the Bengals for a while. We took him in 2012, and what did he do?
Right.
Someone tell me what he did. So that's where he's at for me. Number 7.
He started over Darquez for a little bit.
Well, I haven't gotten to Darquez yet, so.
Okay. Like it.
So that's my number 7, Drakkarist Patrick. Who's yours?
Jordan Shipley out of Texas. Jordan Shipley in college, he was the go-to guy for Colt McCoy on those Texas Longhorn teams. And this is what I said. I felt like 6 up. I felt really confident. I kind of felt bad for Jordan, but if you're a 3rd round pick and you don't last more than 2 years, which is below the average in the NFL, you're a bust. Sorry. Yeah. And I looked into this. I was like, did he get injured? Did he have concussion problems? No, he just retired. No one wanted him.
That was it. Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. I liked you in college. I actually really liked you on the Bengals for a short time, but you're the 7th worst draft pick the past 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with you. I mean, you know what? I now that I'm looking, I'm like, man, I didn't put him on my list. But he was really good in college. He obviously didn't. He obviously did not pan.
Out of all these guys, he's the one I liked the most. I used to love Shipley.
Yeah, I like Shipley too.
He just didn't.
I liked him too.
Do it, man. He didn't do it.
All right, well, go to your number 6.
So at my number 6, going back to the infamous draft class of 2015, I have Jake Fisher, the tackle.
He's my number 6.
Dude, he sucks. He didn't do anything.
Yeah. He's not on a team right now. He's not on a team.
No, he's not on a team. He can cut it anywhere. What happened to him? What happened? Who was evaluating offensive linemen for the past 10 years for the Bengals?
And we take him in the
Whoever
second.
That is, just cut him.
Take him in the second round. Hopefully he's not there anymore because we've changed staff. But, yeah, out of Oregon, 2nd round.
He played 3 years in the NFL. 3 in the NFL. He was a second-round pick.
Yeah, he should be a starter right now in the NFL. He should be a starter.
Guys, Ryan Shazier spent 2 years in the NFL paralyzed, and this guy played and couldn't make it 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's brutal. I agree with you. He's terrible. He's terrible. He should be starting something. He should be starting for the Cincinnati Bengals right now. He couldn't cut it. He's not even on a team right now. He was my number 6 also. I'll go right into my number 5 because I'll stay with offensive line, and it's Cedric Ogbah.
I got a lot higher.
Oh, do you?
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
That's fun. I think that's fair. So I think where's he at now? He's at the Seattle Seahawks. He spent 1 year in Jacksonville. I mean, I don't know what the Bengals really saw in him. I was kind of excited about him, I guess, coming out. But look, he was he was a first-team All-American coming out. If you have him a lot higher, I'm sure you have a lot more to say about him. But we took him in the first round. Okay. With pick number 21 at Texas A&M in 2015. Just not a good pick. He's no longer a Bengal. He should be a starter in the Bengals. He's my number 5.
Said. I call him Said. We know each other.
Said.
So for my number 5, we're on 5, right? Number 5. So remember on Friday when I said I had a player down.
This is that guy?
This is that guy. I scratched his name off, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to put him as one of the top 10 best. He's one of the top 10 worst. It's Jake Elliott, kicker, Memphis. So here's why. Here's a couple things about Jake Elliott. If you're not familiar, you plebeians, Jake Elliott was a 5th-round pick we took out of Memphis. Most of the time, if you're going to draft a kicker, you take him 7th round, or you just get a free agent. There's a million of these dudes. You kind of recycle kickers until you find a good one. If you take a guy in the 5th round, you feel good about him, right?
Yeah.
He didn't make our team. We cut him. So not only did Geno Atkins, 4th-round pick. Tom Brady was a 5th-round pick, guys. 5th round is no chump change. If you're going in the 5th, you better be good. We took this guy in the 5th, and we cut him. Not only did we cut him, the end of the story is he goes to the Eagles and makes 55-yard field goals like his hair's on fire.
He became the best kicker.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Dude. So I was like, he's good because he won a Super Bowl for the Eagles.
Right.
He's bad because we didn't keep him. I was so torn with him. I think he belongs on the bad list because you didn't do anything with it.
I love that. I think that might be, and I haven't heard the rest of your list, that might be the best pick of the list right there. I agree with that completely. I remember when we let him go and he goes to Philadelphia and he can't miss from 50 yards out. He's one of the best kickers in the NFL all of a sudden.
Think about this. Bill Belichick gets who does he get for 5th-round picks? Bill Belichick could probably negotiate with the Bengals to get Carlos Dunlap tomorrow.
Yeah, probably.
Pick. He does. Like, he gets serious name talent for 5th round. Yep. That's how much a 5th-round pick's worth.
Yep.
We literally drafted it and didn't even let it mature and just threw it away. We just tore it up.
I like that pick.
It's just disgusting to me.
I like that pick. I like it. Go to your number 4.
Billy Price, the Ohio State, the Billy Price, the biggest, 4th biggest, worst draft pick we've had since 2018. Pick in the 1st round, 21 overall.
Yeah, center.
Like,
I don't have him on my list.
He's not even a starter. If you're if you're a 1st-round pick, you better start.
Yeah, especially on the offensive line.
Well, like, I always think about it like trade value. What else could we have for that 1st-round pick? We could probably have a 1 year of a rental of a really good lineman. Instead, we get this chump who can't even decide if he's a center or a guard. I don't know what happened to him. I think whoever's coaching our offensive line just needs to be just completely gotten rid of. I don't know who it is. I don't know.
Hopefully they have. I mean,
guys, because like all these guys are offensive linemen, and they're all 1st, 2nd-round picks, and they all suck. So either we're not evaluating them, or we're not coaching them up. We're not Billy Price won the Remington. He wasn't a bad.
He was a stud.
Pick.
He was a stud.
But he was a bad pick because he didn't do anything. He's not even starting for us 3 years later. Get out of town.
I like that. My number 4 is Drakkarist Patrick. So we already talked about him a little bit. Came out with big hopes, just like Drakkarist Patrick did. Everyone thought he was going to be amazing, and where is he at now? He's no longer a Bengal. I don't know where is he now.
I looked him up. Let me find him real quick. So here, let me tell you why I don't have Drakkarist on my list, because I thought long and hard about it. I didn't put him on the list because he, like I said, he won the gym.
He's a free agent. I know he won the Jim Thorpe. I know he won the Jim Thorpe, but that's in college. If you take him, if we took him in the 1st round, pick 24, he was part of the core of defensive backs that we had that just infuriated fans to watch because they just couldn't stop anyone.
Yeah. So here's where I disagree. Yes. From production, is he one of the worst 10 value picks? Yeah. I mean, he probably should be on my list over Jeremy Hill, even though Jeremy sucks. But he won the Jim Thorpe. Like, it's hard to,
you just said,
dude, it's like, I don't know. I have a hard time putting a Rose Bowl champion. Like, that was a special team. He was a special player. I know he didn't do a lot and really anything. He's not even on a team right now. But I don't know. Like, at the time, if I was the Bengals, like, I didn't hate that pick. I was like, great, another sick corner.
There are a few guys that we've talked about that I was excited about that pick, but then you look at it, you're like, right.
There's some holes in my argument. There's some serious holes in that argument.
Well, look, there's holes in all of it. Look, I wish my name was on this
Jeremy
list,
Hill argument,
right? I agree. We all wish that we were on some teams 10 worst draft pick, but we're sitting here discussing it. We're on the free agent draft pick, never got picked. So I get it. There's holes in all the list. But Drakkarist Patrick, he's my number 4.
I like that.
Yeah.
Give me number 3 too.
All right, I'll give you my number 3. I'm
looking at my number 3's name. I'm like, where is this? I know this one's coming.
I'm looking at my 3 through 1, and it could probably be shuffled. But I'll tell you why my 1 is 1, why my 2 is 2, obviously. So my number 3 is Andre Smith.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wait. Did we take him in 09?
Yeah, but just run with it. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, that's my fault. I went 1 year too far. So that's not good. Andre Smith came out.
You just hate Andre Smith that much.
Yeah, I couldn't stand Andre Smith that much.
I just want to rant about him.
Look, he was such a stud in college, but I'll never forget when he's running his 40-yard dash, and it's just so slow, and didn't compete, did it down at the Alabama Pro Day, because he knew he was going to be so slow. He comes back, to the Bengals after whatever, couldn't make teams,
come back 3 times.
couldn't pass conditioning tests. Bengals, when are you going to learn Andre Smith is not your answer at tackle?
No.
Obviously, okay? So I'm sorry I went 1 year back. Yeah, you're right. That's how pissed off I was about when that happened about that pick. I think we've taken a lot better offensive linemen since then. Didn't pan out. As good as he was supposed to be, he didn't pan out. So that's my number.
Have we taken better offensive linemen than him? Because he's in the league 11 years later. I don't think we've taken any.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
That's how low. This is how low we are. Right.
That
now.
is, yeah. You're right.
Right.
Here's your three.
I remember Andre Smith. I think he showed up, and they either they were saying publicly he was like 350, 360. I bet
he was 400 pounds.
400 pounds. He was going to Richie's Catfish in Price Hill or whatever, just guzzling like non-diet like cola and just washing baskets of fried catfish like all day.
Hey, man, he came out of the league, and he was a beast at Alabama, an absolute beast.
Yeah, but
just didn't pan out. I apologize. I don't know why. I think when I first started thinking about this, I was like, boom, Andre Smith's got to be on the list.
Easy.
I went to 09. Yeah. Oh, well.
Okay.
Yeah. But look,
I was writing the date on a piece of paper today at a store. I wrote 2019 until
there you go.
Me, and it's like June. So that's
bad.
My number three, I had Drew Sample.
He's my number 2.
Okay. So, you know what? I'm going to let you take the honors. Tell everybody why Drew Sample sucks.
Look, we talked about it. We talked about it last week also. When you draft a kid out in the second round, and his tweet on draft day is Avengers was the best movie ever, or whatever the hell it was. That means that he was probably in a movie theater, and his agent is trying to contact him saying the Bengals are drafting you right now, and he had no idea. He had no idea because he shouldn't have been taken in the second round. Trey Wingo didn't even know who he was. If you watch the NFL draft, rounds 1 through 3, every single player has highlights. Every one of them. I didn't know what college Drew Sample played for until Monday because nobody would play. Exactly. He played at Washington.
Okay, yeah.
We don't have good luck with
Washington.
We don't. There's another one that we haven't talked about And look, Drew Sample, so then they kind of justify it as he's a great role-playing blocking tight end. I think he had the worst or second to worst blocking grade for tight ends last year in the NFL. He's caught 5 passes. He's got 5 passes, I think.
Jeff, do you know how you get a good role play tight end, essentially, is what he is?
In the 6th round?
Free agents. No.
Undrafted free agents.
They're everywhere.
They're out there.
You want a big guy who can only do one thing? There's 50 of them every year. Like
he's a second-year player, all right? And he's backup to CJ Uzomah, who was taken 3 rounds after Tyler Croft.
Yeah.
So how does that happen? There you go. That's my thought on Drew Sample. Drew, I hope you make me eat my words, and I hope you come out, and I hope you become the next Travis Kelce. But I doubt it's going to happen.
No chance in hell.
No. That's my 2. Who's your number 2?
So, Cedric Ogbah.
Okay.
So, Ced got picked 21st overall, same as Billy Price. And the reason why he was picked in that spot, and I don't think in the time, like I think it was 2015. So we had Andre and we had Whitworth at the time too. So I think in their minds, they were thinking, because he was ranked, I think going into his senior year at Texas A&M, he was ranked as like the big thing at tackle. He was projected as a top 10 pick. He tore up his knee really bad. Yep. No one touched him until we got to him. Right. We take him, and they thought like, he'll rehab for a year, and then he'll be our starter, which is a good plan. The problem is he never played at all, really. And he just bounced around. Like, I don't want to keep beating the Cedric Ogbah horse, but the guy, like, if you're doing 21st overall, buddy, you bet at least, like, or be on the team.
Yes, be on the team.
At least
and not,
Billy
he's
Price,
been to 3 teams now.
He's been to on the team.
He's been to 3 teams now. So, look, I'm not mad. He was on my list. He was a little bit lower, but I'm not mad about you putting him at number 2.
No.
Yeah.
He sucks.
Yeah.
He sucks.
So
he's probably not on a team next year.
Probably not. So I assume that both of our number
The worst
ones.
draft pick is John Ross. Everyone in their mother knows it. Like
here's kind of what I wanted to do, and I'll just name off a couple names here. Patrick Mahomes, Marshawn Lattimore, Deshaun Watson, Derek Barnett, Malik Hooker, Jonathan Allen, Evan Engram, Jabril Peppers, Tre'Davious White, TJ Watt. Those are all names in the first round that were taken after John Ross.
Patrick Mahomes is the best.
Obviously, it was the pick after him. It was literally the next pick.
My gosh.
And then two picks later, it was Deshaun Watson. And in between them was Marshawn Lattimore.
So
you have two of arguably the best cornerbacks in the game, in Marshawn Lattimore and Tre'Davious White with Buffalo in the first round. They were all after that. And you have TJ Watt. We've talked about him a bunch of this podcast. Arguably the best defensive player in the NFL, also after. And we have John Ross.
So John Ross, initially I had him number 2 to Cedric Ogbah as the worst. Here's why I moved him to 1, because he went number 9 instead of number 21. That was the first thing. And I remember when I was watching it, I was like, so remember Tavon Austin?
Yeah.
Out of West Virginia.
Yeah.
He went to the Rams. The Rams drafted him, I think, 8 or 9 overall. At that time, I was living in Chicago, and I was sitting with my buddy Dave. And they took Tavon Austin, and I turned to my buddy. We're at a bar, like eating chicken wings. And I started laughing. He's a Rams fan from St. Louis. Started laughing in his face. We actually had Dave on the podcast. The listeners know. So I start laughing at Dave's face. He's like, he's like, I think that's a good pick. Like, Tavon had a great career at West Virginia. I said, you never take a slot receiver with a top 10 pick, let alone a first-round pick. That's
especially based on pure speed. That's it.
Only when potential. We did that, or if you're going to take one in the first round just based on pure speed, he better be 5'10".
Yeah.
This guy's he's 5'8". He ran really fast.
He's 5'11". He's listed at 5'11". Are you thinking?
He's listed at 5'11". He's 5'8".
Are you talking about Tavon Austin? Are you talking about Tavon Austin?
John Ross.
Well, okay. Well, Tavon Austin is short. John Ross is 5'11".
John Ross looks he's 5'8" if he's lucky. He's probably 5'5" for all I know. But, dude, I started freaking out. I was like, I texted Dave. I was like, dude, we just did the same thing. And what happened to Tavon Austin? It's the same thing that's going to happen to John Ross. You listen to the names. That was one of the most loaded first rounds we've seen since 2003.
Yeah, ever. One of the best ever.
Eli, Big Ben, the whole thing.
Phillip Rivers. Yeah.
That whole draft class, that whole first round's loaded. That is what this draft class was. And what did we get out of it? We got a 5'4" wide receiver who can barely.
He just keeps shrinking. he just keeps shrinking.
Exactly.
Look, I'm with you. Obviously, I hope he had some flashes of greatness last year. Hopefully, he can stay healthy and provide a nice little complimentary piece to what I think is a loaded wide receiver core to the Bengals. But if not, I mean, man, taking him, I know he's just can absolutely fly. But yeah, look, hey, I'm with you. First overall draft pick.
Prove me wrong.
Prove us wrong.
So just to recap,
I
want to recap one thing. So I said the 2015 draft class is the worst. So out of that, first round, 21st overall pick, Cedric Ogbah, second worst pick. We had Jake Fisher, second round pick. I have him as my 6th worst. Tyler Croft at 9th worst. And then we have, I don't know, CJ Uzomah. We have a bunch of losers. The whole class sucks. Like, what the hell were we doing? We could have literally just said, you know what? We're taking tonight off. We don't need our picks this year. And we'd have the same team minus our 5th round tight end that's starting for the Bengals right now.
Here's the thing. If that would have been a fantasy draft and the Bengals would have been too drunk to figure out where they're drafting and they would have been on auto pick, we would have had a better draft class in 2015 than what we came up with.
Jeff and I, in episode 3, way too drunk to be doing a podcast, would have come up with a better team than what those guys took in 2015.
It would have been better. I agree with you. Look, that list was a lot of fun to put together. I hope every one of these guys shuts us both up and proves us wrong. It's a lot of fun to list a lot better football players on a list than than we were and talk about them. But look, that's what we're doing. That was our opinion on the top 10 worst draft picks the Bengals have had since 2010, 2009 apparently for me. But we'll let that slide, and we'll post that poll on Twitter.
We're gonna post it on Twitter, and
both of them.
That pretty much wraps us up, man. I guess we'll come back on either Thursday or Friday. Keep an eye out.
Yep.
Episode 19 is coming up. Jeff, any last
This was 18. This was 18.
It was 16. 17's coming up.
Okay, 17's coming up. Not episode 19. Episode 19 will be coming up, but next week. Yeah. Let's wrap this up, buddy. Have a good night. That was a lot of fun.
All right. See you, Jeff.
See you, man.